What's going on, good people? Really excited to go over this project with you. And what I'm going to be going over is automated GRC, specifically AWS password policy verifier. And the days of the old way GRC used to do things, it's over, and we're shifting towards, what a lot of people call, GRC engineering. And I'm excited about this because it allows GRC professionals to really add more value to the company, and it just makes everybody's life easier. So the problem with the old way of doing GRC, so for years, governance, risk, and compliance, engineers, they basically lived in screenshot hell. So when audit season came around, you got SOC 2, you got NIST, you got ISO. And a process usually looks something like this. Someone logs into AWS console, hope they have the right role. They navigate to IAM, they find the password policy, and then they just take a whole bunch of screenshots. And then they take those screenshots, they paste them into Excel or some sort of GRC tool. And they do this for every single AWS account. And by the time the auditor actually sees it, there's a very good chance the data is stale. A developer could have changed a setting, 5 minutes prior to as soon as they took that screenshot. So this method is very slow. It's prone to human error, and it's just boring. And not to even mention that, look, engineers aren't cheap, right? And they have a job to be doing, and taking screen for auditors is not one. So here's the solution. And I'm going to walk you through this whole process and kind of how it works. So here's the new way. So the tool that I'm about to show you, it really changes the game by treating compliance as code. So instead of manual checks, I'm going to run a Python script. It's going to query out to AWS, and you're going to get live data, so live metrics of exactly what's going on. And some key features, you're going to get live assurance. So it's going to query the AWS API directly for the absolute latest configuration at any time. Smart detection, so it automatically detects if you're using traditional IAM users or if AWS Identity Center is being used, so SSO. And then auto mapping, so it's going to instantly compare your settings against SOC 2, which is CC 6.2, and NIST 853, IA5 controls. So you're really getting audit-ready artifacts. So what it's going to generate, it's going to give a JSON report, so it's going to give full technical details for engineers or whoever might need it. And then you're going to get a CVS summary, which is basically going to be a clean timestamp file, ready to hand to anybody, whether that's external auditors, whether that's CEOs, whoever needs to see that is going to clearly understand where you actually sit in the security of the whole organization. And here's why this matters. Audit readiness. So you don't have to prepare for an audit. You stay ready. You're ready at any time. So one command is going to give you all the evidence you need, and it runs in seconds. Also, security posture. So we're not just checking a box. We're ensuring that password complexity, rotation, MFA requirements are actually enforced. If you're only looking at this once a year for audits, you're not really doing the job what you're supposed to be doing. You're not ensuring that the company's protected. You're not ensuring that clients are protected. Where this way, you're constantly monitoring everything. So efficiency, the script that I'm going to show you, it takes seconds to run, whereas manual checks, they take hours. So let me kind of walk through an actual walkthrough of how this works. So I'm going to jump over to the terminal here. And then I'm going to grab the command, and then we're going to run it. Very simple command, and you'll see this is literally going to run in seconds. So it'll run. It's going to break everything down, and I'm going to kind of walk through this real quick and kind of just show you what happened. So as you can see, it initiated the call out to AWS with the credentials I provided. You can see it successfully connected. It's going to analyze everything. So it says we have 6 IAM users, a total of 2 that have console access. The Identity Center is detected, which is good, so that's connected. Password policies are managed in Identity Center. It tells you right here. Again, found 2 IAM console users. It's hybrid authentication detected. And then retrieving account password policy, so it tells you IAM password policy retrieved successfully. So it tells you right there that the policy is in place. So there we go. So that's good. And then it's going to actually evaluate the password policy against compliance standards. So again, you know exactly where you are at this current moment, and then any changes that need to be made can quickly be made. So the first one is compliant. Minimum password length, it has to be at least 12. So that is compliant. Requires symbols. That's true. So again, that also is compliant. Requiring numbers in the password. So again, that's compliant with that. Uppercase, compliant, doing good so far. Lowercase, compliant, good. Missing max password age. Now, this is one of the things where things have changed a little bit due to multi-factor authentication. This is actually one of the things that if you have multi-factor authentication off, this one, you can kind of let that slide. As a matter of fact, nowadays, it's actually more secure to have multi-factor authentication, MFA, on. And the reason behind that is because as humans, we just get lazy. So if you have to reset your password every 90 days, you'll see people start using passwords like 123 January. And then the next one is 123 March. So again, as humans, we just get lazy. So having MFA kind of makes up for that. Missing password reuse prevention. All right. So this is one of those things where some changes might need to be made to this because, again, that's going to allow somebody to continue to use the same password over and over. And if there was a system breach, let's just say, for instance, that person could literally come back in, use the same password, and you still got a big issue. So one of the things that was non-compliant, allow users to change passwords. Currently, it's set up where they don't have to do that. So in order for a user to change their password, they'd have to contact IT or whoever's in charge of it at the organization. So that's something that needs to be looked into. And then compliant, all hard inquiries. So basically, if someone logs in and they're set to change their password, they will not be able to get back into the system until their password is changed. So overall compliance score is 66%, a little bit over 66%. So 6 out of the 9 controls they hit. And then a cool thing what this does, this is automatically going to generate the reports. Because it's one thing for me to say like, oh, yeah, we do that. We keep up with our reports. It's another thing to have actual evidence. And this is what it does. So it's going to run a JSON file, and it's also going to run a CSV file. JSON file would be really good if you were going to like export it out to maybe Jira and have someone else on the team maybe fix it. Or if you were going to you could send that out to Lambda and have it automatically remediated. You could send it out to an S3 bucket and keep that in there. For right now, it's actually, if you look over here on the left, you can see where the file is over here, where it's going. So let me click on one of these. So here you have the CSV file. And then if I click on to JSON, here we go. So you see both files. So all that evidence is tracked right over here. So let's do this. Actually, let's go in here. What I'm going to do, let's just do this live. We'll jump over here. I'll jump actually in AWS, and let's make some changes. Because the cool thing about this is how fast changes are actually updated. And again, this is just on one system. This can be the thing about when you're operating like this, you can operate at scale, and it's very easy to do. And as a business, this is what you want to do. You want to grow quickly, and you want to keep the friction down on that. So here we are inside account settings. Let's go ahead and edit this. So you can see the current settings that we had. These ones are checked. Turn on password expiration. So again, if you have MFA on that, you don't need to turn that one on. Password expiration requirements. Password expiration requirements, administrator reset. Okay, so this is the one where you would have to have someone in ID or whoever reset a password. So we want the end user to be able to take care of that. Allow users to change their own passwords. So we'll use that one on. And we'll do prevent password reuse. Remember passwords. Let's do it for 12 months. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and save these changes. So boom, let's jump right back into the terminal. And then we're going to rerun this. Boom, let's run it. Boom. So you can see already the change automatically took effect, right? So bada bing, bada boom. So our score automatically just improved. We were at 66 before. Now we're up to 77. So we're doing good there. So perfect. So again, you can see how fast this change happens. And then let me make sure I pull the most recent one. So if I pull the most recent one, we can see we have all new data. So again, here is the CSV file. And then we also have the JSON file as well. So as you can see, you really get the thing I like about this too, like it's a clear pass or a fail. So there's no guessing. It's very easy to just, again, go and make whatever remediations need to happen, whether, you need to send changes to the engineering team, whoever it may be that needs that. So that's the walkthrough. Hopefully you guys got a little bit of value about it. I know this really excites me. So thank you guys for watching. Catch you on the next one.